Can I tell you something? This is actually the watch that I was dreaming about when I first started my banking career.
Okay.
It is very, very beautiful, which is why, I've written this in the article of saying that this is actually one of the ideal watch to get for your first luxury watch. Yes. Hey guys, how are you doing? Happy Lunar New Year! So, 祝大家蛇年行大运，心想事成，万事如意，身体健康，财源滚滚。So, do you get any of these?
Yes, of course.
That's good. Yes, that's good. Finally.
恭喜发财。
Yes, 红包拿来。So today's episode, we are gonna cover about Grand Seiko. So Grand Seiko is a brand that is synonymous with a lot of collectors, probably in their first watch collection, where I've covered, or maybe even to their very, very high-end collection like the Kodo. Okay, so we have recently did an event with them, and the response was amazing. We will share a little bit more of the clips later. Yes, we'll share a little bit more of the clips later in the video of what our participants think of the watches. All right. So today in this episode, we will first start out with the history of Grand Seiko, how did Grand Seiko came about, the respective movements, something about spring drive, how it works, a little bit more about Zaratsu polishing, and maybe even your collection journey with Grand Seiko, as Peter have two of them. Okay, so Peter, can you share with us?
Let's start with these two watches that we have on the table.
Yes, let's do that then. So what are these two watches?
As Stanley said, these are both watches that I own. I've owned this for quite a long time, about 15 years, 16 years. I bought this one first. This is the GMT watch. It's mechanical movement.
Yeah, SBGM 021.
021, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't remember the model number. And this one is a spring drive chronograph in steel with a bracelet. This watch is a bit older to me because I bought this first. And at the time when I bought this, Seiko and Grand Seiko, or Grand Seiko, Seiko of course was already international, but Grand Seiko was not international.
Oh.
And Grand Seiko was kind of like only a domestic, insider-only kind of watch, where if you're an insider, then you know about it. If you're not, then you probably have no clue why a Seiko watch is so expensive. And as you can see in these early models, they are double signed. It says Seiko and Grand Seiko. This one also Seiko and Grand Seiko. It's double signed. But today, if you buy the watch today, although the two brands, Seiko and Grand Seiko, are still part of the same company and same family. In fact, they have the same CEO, Akio Naito. They are now no more double signed, but single signed. So Seikos are Seikos, and Grand Seiko does not have the Seiko signature on the dial anymore, just the Grand Seiko on the dial.
Yeah.
This watch has got a kind of a very beautiful cream dial, and of course the famous Seiko, Grand Seiko indices and hands. This one, of course, also has got the Seiko indices and hands, which are faceted and polished, but it's on the black dial. It's a spring drive chronograph with GMT, and this is just a mechanical chronograph, a mechanical watch with the GMT.
So that's very interesting. So 16 years ago, is it when Grand Seiko have just started out Grand Seiko?
I think about 16, maybe more. Maybe I think it's probably 2005.
Okay.
So just 20 years ago already, yeah. When Seiko decided they wanted to expand Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko has been around in Japan since I think the 60s. So they wanted to expand and move the marketing for Grand Seiko out internationally. And at that time, the head of marketing was a gentleman called Shu Yoshino-san. And he made traveled around the world to meet with collectors to understand the mentality of the collectors and to also to understand how they can better position Grand Seiko in the marketplace. So I was one of the first persons that he met as well. He came to Singapore, I met with him, and we talked for a little while. He invited me to Japan. I went to visit the factories. So the mechanical pieces, the mechanical watches like this one, for example, this This
SBGM 021.
SBGM 021 mechanical watch is made in the factory in Morioka. And the spring drive, together with the quartz movement, are manufactured in the factory in Shiojiri, which is a different part of Japan. But both of it are quite remote away from Tokyo. And like many other watchmaking areas in the world, like for example, you see the Swiss Jura, the Glashütte region in Germany, these places are quite remote. They get very, very, very harsh winters, a lot of snow, a lot of cold temperatures during winters. And somehow they become experts in mechanical components. And therefore, these are made there. Yeah, the spring drive movements are quite interesting as well because they are made in the factory which is owned by Seiko Epson. It's kind of a joint venture company. It's a very complex business relationship between Seiko and Epson Corporation. But this is the same Epson Corporation which makes projectors, printers. Yeah, Epson means son of electronic printer.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
It was created for the, I think it's 1960 Olympic Games in Tokyo because they needed printers to print the results to be run around by runners so that they can be reported globally. So the same factory, and therefore it is a factory which, when I visited, I have not visited for a while, but when I visited last time, it had about 100,000 square feet of raised flooring, class 100 clean room. Class 100 clean room is quite normal in the electronics industry, making electronics, transistors, components, wafers, and so on and so forth. But it's quite uncommon. In fact, it's the first one I've ever seen in the watchmaking industry. In the Swiss watchmaking industry, in Switzerland and in Germany, I have seen these clean room environments, but they're not entire rooms. They are like cubicles where there is positive pressure is provided inside the little box so that no dust can go in, but all the dust particles are blown out. Very similar to an operating theater, for example, but they're dealing with different things. But in Switzerland, we have these boxes. But in what I saw in the Epson manufacture in Shiojiri is that it's an entire building. I think it's 100,000 square feet, if I'm not mistaken, of raised flooring with a clean room environment. The quartz movements and the spring drive movements are manufactured in that facility.
Wow.
The mechanical movements are manufactured in Morioka.
Okay, and Morioka does not have a clean room like the...
I don't remember seeing it, but it could well be, but I don't remember seeing it.
Okay,
yeah.
So a lot of collectors are very, very fascinated by the spring drive movement. You know, and for me, sometimes I don't even, you know, I understand that there's quartz crystal in the spring drive movement. It's a mechanical movement, but what does it differ from the usual mechanical?
What's interesting about spring drive is that it's a fully mechanical and fully quartz. It's a hybrid system, fully mechanical, fully quartz. So why is it fully mechanical? Because from the main string barrel to the second wheel, third wheel, and fourth wheel, it is a mechanical system. Okay. It's got the same mechanical system as with any other watch that we know in the market today with a Swiss anchor escapement. So these wheels are manufactured in the same way. They have got polishing, they have got shaping, parabolic shaping of a teeth and all that, exactly the same way as you would see in for example, any high-end Swiss watch that you have in the market today. But however, after the fourth wheel, instead of a Swiss anchor escapement, which engages with the escapement or the balance wheel, which goes this way, oscillating right? Two ways, it connects to a fifth wheel, which just moves in one direction. And the fifth wheel is a solid disc, actually. It's I don't know what material is it, but I assume it's copper, because it uses the physics principle of eddy currents to generate, there's an electromagnetic brake which is on top of this wheel. And because the wheel is spinning, because it's driven by the main spring, the wheel is spinning. As it spins, and because of the electromagnetic field, it creates eddy currents, which recreates a repulsive force. And this has the effect of breaking of a brake, like putting on the brakes to the wheel. And this has got a positive and negative feedback system that as it breaks down, the wheel slows down. But as it slows down to become too much, it becomes too slow, the electronic braking effect, because of the feedback, releases and it allows the wheel to speed up again. And therefore, keeping the wheel spinning at a constant rate. I believe it's 5 revolutions per second. or 6 revolutions per second. I'll put the right link, the number below. But on top of my head right now, I cannot remember. 5 or 6 revolutions per second, and it just keeps going around. How does the braking system know what is too much and what is too slow? It's actually controlled by a circuitry, which is controlled by a quartz mechanism. So that's where the hybrid comes from. So on this side, there's a quartz mechanism. However, in the watches like this one, and in any other spring drive movement, there is no battery.
Okay.
There's no battery at all. And how does the quartz mechanism get power to move? So when you first release the power from the mainspring, it runs and it charges a little inductor, which then holds the power. It's sufficient to run the quartz mechanism for the duration of the power reserve. So the power reserve of this watch, for example, is 3 days. So at least it's 72 hours is kind of what you guys nowadays call weekend proof.
Okay, yes.
And there's a power reserve indicator here. It will run for the duration before the mainspring runs down, and there's no power to the electronic circuitry, and therefore there's no braking, and the system doesn't work anymore. Yeah. But instead of going this way, and that's why in the conventional Swiss anchor exclamation, you see tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That's where the sound comes from.
Yeah.
This one, if you put it to your ear, there is no sound at all, and this is what the Seiko people call the silent revolution. You can also see here that the chronograph second hand is already moving, but it is moving really, really smoothly with no jerks at all. Even with a very high beat movement, like for example the El Primero with 36,000 beats per hour, it means that for every second, this chronograph hand actually makes 10 moves, right? 10 moves.
Yes.
But of course, at 10 moves per second, you can hardly see. It looks very smooth.
Yes.
Even at 28.8, it looks quite smooth. But here it's absolutely smooth at all, totally, completely smooth. We have a little exploration which we did some time ago with a high-speed camera with Sharon, that we took 1,000 frames per second photographs of a normal movement and compared it with the spring drive movement. And we can see that even at 1,000 frames per second, and because it is actually effectively continuous, there is no jerking movement on this system. But if you take even 10 frames per second, if you can take 10 frames per second and sync it properly, you can actually see that in that 1 second, the El Primero movement, for example, stops 10 times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Due to the beat, is it?
Due to the beat, yeah.
I see. Okay, so that would be something that's quite unique and proprietary to Grand Seiko, I would say.
It's proprietary to Grand Seiko, or not, well, actually the proprietary owner is Seiko Epson.
Okay.
So it belongs to Seiko Epson, and therefore but it only appears so far as I have seen in Seiko, Grand Seiko, and another brand name which also belongs to them called Kodo.
Nice.
You can see from the back that the movement is beautifully finished. It's finished almost exactly the same as a normal mechanical watch. You can see the column wheel is also finished. All the standard finishing that we use in the traditional watchmaking is applied here. You can see the stripes. It's I think they call it Tokyo stripes, but they're kind of actually like Geneva stripes, of course, Genève. Even the roto has got the engravings and it moves correct. So far, I've had this watch for 15, 16 years, or maybe even more actually, and it has not given me any problems. But this watch has gone back for servicing.
Okay, so there is actually a myth on the internet that says that all Grand Seikos, or rather all spring drive movements are, or they have to be sent back to Japan for their servicing.
It's not a myth, it's the truth. This watch, when it went for servicing, went back to Japan. I don't know whether currently, because since 2018 or 19, Seiko created the Grand Seiko Corporation of America as a separate company, run by a different team of people, although they eventually all report back to Mr. Naito or Naito-san. I don't know whether they have got servicing capability in the US. They also have got Grand Seiko in Europe, and they also have Grand Seiko in Singapore. But however, the Asia Pacific office for Grand Seiko in Singapore do not service these watches. All the watches for spring drive are sent back to Japan for servicing.
Okay.
So it actually goes back to Shiojiri. I mean, when I was there in Shiojiri and was talking in the meeting room, somehow halfway through the meeting, they presented two ladies and they introduced them as the people who assembled my watch, this specific watch. They took the serial number and this specific watch. So one lady assembled the entire chronograph movement, the entire movement actually, and the other one assembled the case and the bracelet. I took a photograph with them. I don't know whether I can find it. I don't know where is it. But this is the way in which they work.
Okay.
The whole system and assembly process is done by one person in an atelier style, very similar to very high-end watchmaking in Switzerland.
Okay, so then is it similar to the micro artisan studio then?
No, the micro artisan studio is yet another level. So
Okay.
it is within the Shiojiri manufacture. There's a small room, and this is the super high-end. So this is kind of like the independence within the manufacturer. So the Japanese style of independence are not like totally independent. Well, they have. People like Asaoka, for example, is totally independent.
Yes.
But here is a group of independent people working independently within a huge manufacturer. So when I was there in the first time, there were only 9 people in the micro artist studio, and they make 10 watches a year.
Oh wow!
With no financial pressure. Out of the 9 people in the studio, there were designers, engineers, 2 or 3 watchmakers. There were finishers. There were people who did the enameling. There were people who specialized in certain crafts. So today is still more or less the same. I think the number of people may have been increased, maybe 12, 13 people, but it's still not a lot. And the number of watches that are produced are very, very limited. All the watches produced use a spring drive, either chronograph, maybe they don't have a chronograph, I'm not sure whether they have a chronograph, but either time-only movement or special movements. So the time-only movements, they began with a movement called the Aichi, which a lot of people may have heard before. It's a very beautiful, simple 3-hand watch, kind of a finish and kind of pitch at the same level as a 2/4 Simplicity.
Oh wow!
So, but it uses a spring drive movement, beautifully finished. Not the same finishing as you get in Grand Seiko, even higher finishing because it's done by these masters. Now, that one had a porcelain dial made by Noritake, and then Eichi II, which is a successor, which is still available today, then brought that dial technology in-house, and now they make the enamel dials in-house in the micro artist studio in Shiojiri. There are also 2 other models that I'm aware of within the micro artist studio's purview. One of them is a sonnery, and the other one is a minute repeater. Now, these are striking watches, but however, their striking watches are totally different from the ones made in Switzerland, even though the principles of making the strikes using the hammer and the gong are exactly the same actually. But they apply their Japanese philosophy on it. So it's a very Zen system. The striking, the gongs are made by a temple gong manufacturer with a 1,000-year history. And the striking system is tuned in such a way that it is very slow and with a very long reverberation time. The idea is that it is to mimic the temple gong in a Japanese temple, which strikes slowly and very precisely, but with a very long reverb. And the idea is that so that you get this Zen feeling and feeling of calmness when you hear the temple gong and when you hear your watch strike.
Seems like those people with anger issues might need one.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's very interesting then for this micro artisan studio. But moving back towards the basics, right? The Grand Seiko is very, very synonymous on what we call the Zaratsu polishing.
Mm-hmm.
So, is Zaratsu polishing only proprietary to Grand Seiko or even the higher-end Seiko range? What is Zaratsu polishing?
No, the Zaratsu polishing is not unique to Seiko and Grand Seiko. The word Zaratsu actually comes from the Anglicization, say it right? Anglicization of the word Salats. And Salats is actually the name of a machine which is made in Switzerland, which does the polishing. Okay. So this machine is being made in Switzerland. Of course, it's available to Swiss watchmakers as well. But Salats is an instrument maker. They make the machinery which produces this finishing. The hands of the artisan who uses this machine is the genius behind why the Grand Seiko Zaratsu finish has become a selling point or a key proposition. Of course, Grand Seiko's marketing and Seiko's marketing also jumped on it and pushed it really hard and sold this principle very well. However, the basic principle is basically a mirror kind of finish, okay. Mirror polish. You see this in many, many watches as well. You see this in Swiss watches. For example, if you look at a Rolex at the case side, the Rolex case side is flat.
Yes.
But if you put it, for example, on top of next to a
piece of paper,
with print.
Uh-huh.
You can see the print reflected without any distortion to the print, and exactly the same as is done here. However, most of the finishing or the Zaratsu polishing on Seikos and Grand Seikos are done on curved surfaces. And this, of course, is significantly different challenge to the artisan who is doing this. So it's not the tool. The tool is one thing, right? But how the tool is being used produces the result of an artisanal quality. It's just like the example given that the people who make the chisels for Michelangelo are not able to make the same sculptures as Michelangelo himself. Yeah, so it's two different kind of traits. They may be able to make really, really good chisels or paintbrushes, but they are not able to produce a painting. It's the artists who produce the paintings. So Salat's, the machine is made in Switzerland, but however, we see the best examples of this work in Japan. And of course, Grand Seiko is not the only one. We see this Salat's Zaratsu finish also on Citizen. But Citizen being a less marketing-oriented company and more engineering-oriented, has not capitalized on this as a marketing on a marketing campaign to talk about it more.
I see.
Yeah.
Then the Zaratsu polishing, it all has to be done by hand as of now, is it? There's no way that
As far as I know, it's done by hand. It's actually a polishing disc, and it runs, and then the artisan actually uses his hand to manipulate the piece to make the polishing. The Zaratsu finishing and the high polishing are also done in the faceted indices and the hands, even the frame of the date. And this is one of the key signifying features of Grand Seiko watches. The hands date, the hands indices and the dial are usually quite spectacular, as you can see here.
Yes.
The case is very beautifully made as well, as you can see, it's also Zaratsu finish. The movements are nicely made, but they are not the same level as what is called haute horology. It doesn't compete, for example, with Patek Philippe or Vacheron Constantin, but it does compete at a very high level.
Okay. People like IWC.
I think people like even Jaeger-LeCoultre and higher, but it's not at the top. But that's not the aim as well, because most of these watches are not targeted at the kind of price range, except for the micro artisan studio, which are exceptionally well finished. As I said just now, the Eichi II, they are kind of like broadly similar level with different styling as the Dufour Simplicities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you wanted to talk about, you asked me just now about the Kodo as well, right?
Yes,
So
correct.
Kodo is a special project. It's not part of this Morioka or the Shiojiri system, but it is done by a specialist who operates in Tokyo. So the Kodo watch is actually made in Tokyo. It's basically a tourbillon with a coaxially mounted remontoire. The concept is not new. We've seen this for example, in the industrial triaxial, coaxial remontoire, tourbillon, but we also see it here. But as far as I understand it, the development of both these watches, the one by Strehler and the one by Grand Seiko, are done in parallel, and therefore nobody's copying anybody. It just happened that both of them come up with similar solution. They're not exactly the same. If you examine the drawings, they're not exactly the same, but they're very similar principles, especially conceptually, they are very similar in terms of the way in which it is developed.
So neither it's made in Shiojiri or Morioka. It's done in
The Kodo is
Tokyo's
made in
office.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Kodo is made in Tokyo. Yeah.
Okay, and that's certainly an amazing piece. Hopefully, we are able to bring you some close-up from the event.
We have a food review, which I will link below.
Yes, we do. So hopefully, hopefully, please go read for it. And then, and on that note, we will be cutting to the videos on our participants on what they like during the event and what Grand Seiko's.
This was the event which was held on the
interesting.
24th of January at the Grand Seiko Boutique in Marina Bay Sands, where we collaborated with Grand Seiko to invite a number of our friends to experience the Grand Seiko watches close up.
Yes, and they are from very seasoned collectors to even people who are looking for their first luxury watch in this event.
Yeah, because the Grand Seiko watches range from quite
around 6,500.
Yeah,
that's the budget.
Which is quite affordable or modest budget, I would say, to watches which are quite significantly more expensive, like
the Kodo.
like the Kodo, but the Kodo is not so easily buyable because
Okay.
you need to kind of make arrangements and reserve it. But, even the Aichi is not so not readily available as well. But I think this spring drive chronograph now is probably about $20,000, $21,000.
Wow. Okay.
Whereas when I bought it in Japan 18 years ago, I paid 800,000 yen for it. That's including tax. So I could take tax off. It's 720,000 yen. In today's money is, if you convert today's money, 720,000 yen is approximately 6,000 Sing dollars, right? 6,002 Sing dollars. But of course, in those days, the exchange rate was much higher. So I think I paid approximately 9,000 Sing dollars for this watch after tax, taking the tax off. But it's gained quite a lot since then. And this watch was also much cheaper. I think I paid $4,000 for it.
Now it's about 6,500. And can I tell you something? This is actually the watch that I was dreaming about when I first started my banking career.
Okay.
It is very, very beautiful, which is why I've written this in the article of saying that this is actually one of the ideal watch to get for your first luxury watch. Yes. So on that note, we'll cut to the videos from our participants. Hey guys, how are you doing? So we are very honored to have Bobby Tonelli, one of Singapore's most handsome men, for our event.
You're very, very kind. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. So for our event with Grand Seiko, and we are going to ask our guests what's their favorite watch during this event. So
Okay.
Bobby, take it away.
The one I'm wearing right now is the SBJ 285. This is an APAC exclusive. I think there's like 180 pieces. APAC only. It's a lilac dial. It's got this purple strap. Comes with a purple strap and also a stainless steel bracelet. This is a watch that is absolutely stunning. It's high beat. So Grand Seiko high beat goes hand in hand. Obviously spring drive as well. But this GMT is unbelievable. I saw the photos when I looked on Instagram, as I always do, and I'm reading Deployant, I'm like going, okay, a lilac kind of purple dial, that's interesting. But when you put it on the wrist, it transforms. It's light, and it's got the old kind of classic case to it. Unbelievable Zaratsu polishing on it.
And you know what? This is not. I'm not lying. He has been hogging the watch for the whole night. I can't believe this guy.
I have. Because usually you see it on the bracelet, but they put the purple strap and they said, would you like to try this on? And I haven't taken it off, which is scary.
And every time when somebody wants to have a look at the watch, you have to go Bobby, can you remove it, please?
I know. It is unbelievable. No, but this has been a fantastic event. Honestly, the Grand Seiko Boutique Marina Bay Sands has been awesome. Just the entire team here, the pieces, and this is kind of it's getting your lips warm for what's coming for Watches and Wonders. Because obviously Grand Seiko, the dials that they're coming out with almost year-round are just phenomenal. So, but this is really a stunning piece, man.
This is a stunning piece to get before Watches and Wonders.
Ooh, don't do
then
that.
After Watches and Wonders, you're going to get something new.
Oh, man.
Right, Bobby?
I don't know. If the rumors are true, it's going to be a very big year for Grand Seiko. Very big year.
It's very, very big year and very, very sexy watches. So
Yes.
we stay tuned.
Yeah.
But this is for pre-Watches and Wonders.
All right.
Okay, thank you everyone. Yes. That's it. Hey guys, this is our second guest. It's Cindy Chia, very, very good friend of mine. Okay. So Cindy, tell us what you like about Grand Seiko and what's it?
I like the stories behind the watches, right? I appreciate what makes them stand out to me is the quiet design of it. I lean towards watches that are a little bit more elegant. I love the dials because every single pattern of it is all handcrafted, right? The watch I'm wearing right now,
Yes, please.
The watch I'm wearing right now, right? It's a spring drive. So that's a proprietary movement that is just, to Grand Seiko itself and super gorgeous. Just take a look at the needle itself. The blue, I'm not sure whether you can see it, but if you just take a look at the dials, it looks like the ocean. It's really, really pretty.
Wow. Okay, so you're pulling the trigger yet?
Oh my god. My goodness. I want to. So chill is super nice.
Great. So thank you for coming. It's such a pleasure to have you guys. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is our guest number 3, my very, very good friend as well, Serene Chua. So Serene will be sharing with us why she liked the SBJ 413 on her wristband. So what do you like about it?
Wow, I think a couple of things. I think firstly the textured dial. The second thing would be because it's very light, it's titanium. And I think the third point would be the spring drive. Japanese watchmaking, classic.
Wow. Okay. So it is something that you would see in your collection?
Most definitely. I think in time to come, I would definitely consider one of these pieces. Maybe in a different dial, but definitely this one.
Okay. So if your dream dial, what color would it be?
Maybe a more intense shade.
Oh wow.
Yes, because this one is light blue. It looks almost silvery, airbrush. I think I would prefer a more intense blue.
Okay. So Grand Seiko, do you hear that? Okay. Thank you so much, Serene.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Robin from Deployant, and here with me today is Wei, and we are at the Grand Seiko Boutique, the Grand Seiko event. So here with me on hand, it's one of our favorite watches at Grand Seiko today. It's the Kodo Eichi II. So, amongst the many incredible watches that we have, right, what really caught our attention for this particular piece is the attention to detail, right? So for this particular platinum watch with the blue porcelain dial, what really sets it apart is the incredible dial finishing, whereby you can really see it in person, where there is this beautiful edge at the side, where it has that gradient that leads towards the dark blue color that you have on the dial itself. So, for Wei and myself, what really sets this apart is that particular subtle nuance that you have with this timepiece. So, Wei, tell us more about this.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with this, with that light hue of blue that's around the rim, near the report. It's just beautiful. It's like it illuminates. It's like just a beacon of light, a different shade, a subtle hue of blue that just brings out another texture, another element to this watch. Absolutely beautiful. It looks like it's being backlit, but it is not, because it's just the amazing craftsmanship of the Japanese craftsman that brings out what really is porcelain enamel. But besides this, if you do get your hands on this and do get a piece like this, you're gonna have a very, very insanely artisanal, crazy man hours kind of thing, where you have a very specific strap that comes with this. It's just leaps above any other strap. And that's just the plus on top of what you get. This is amazing. You can't find another top-notch hot horology piece like this. If you want to see this and see the strap that comes with this, go and check it out right now.
It's best seen in person.
Yeah.
I think it's a different experience. We have seen it in pictures, but when we see the watch in person, right, for the first time, it's an entirely different experience.
Get ready to be transported to a different universe with this Grand Seiko. It's amazing.
This is Daniel. Okay, so Daniel managed to pry the watch off Bobby today. So it's the SBGJ 285. So Daniel, would you like to share with us a little bit more about what you like about it after trying it out from Bobby?
Well, the obvious elegance, and of course, we all know about the internal mechanisms, where it's extremely accurate, more accurate than the brand across the street, starting with an R. But I think you wear this, I was taken by how light it is, and immediately the workmanship speaks for itself. And I think we all wear a watch these days, not just to tell the time, but to have a statement made about itself and personality. So I think this really works.
Yeah, so thank you so much. So that will be our words from our participants, and I hope everybody enjoyed the event. Did you, Peter?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Once again, we wish you a happy new year. We look forward to presenting to you what's available next. See you guys.
Right. Cheers.
Bye.